Sunday night at 10.
It's a cooking program for all tastes. Between mothers and daughters. Let's make some delicious memories together. Leisure Time, Mum's Cooking. Tonight at 8:30.
Quicksure, all your insurance needs. Call 3113-2112 or visit the site today.
Authorities have raided an unlicensed factory in Kwaichong suspected of using dangerous chemicals to produce cooking oil.
Health Minister Ko Wing-man says he's very concerned as the oil was supplied to several restaurants. Holding search warrants, Food and Environmental Hygiene Department officers backed by police arrived at the oil factory in Kwaichong to inspect the premises. Officers broke into the factory after no one answered the door. They took oil samples away for tests. Several barrels of oil had been placed along the corridor outside the factory, and firemen also had to check if they were blocking the fire escape. Hygiene standards at the factory are also under scrutiny. There have been reports that the factory has been refining cooking oil with cancer-causing chemicals and selling it at less than half the market price. The cooking oil was said to be supplied to 11 local restaurants, and health inspectors have collected samples from the eateries for tests. Health Minister Ko Wing-man says he's very concerned about the case, and his staff are carrying tests on the oil to see if it contains dangerous chemicals. Ko said action will be taken according to the law. Chinese University academic Chang King-ming says it's difficult to predict how harmful the oil is to humans.
At this point, I believe that if you're not eating at the same restaurant or exposed to the same waste oil every day, 3 meals a day, over half a year or a few years, you are not able to be affected by those chemicals.
Chan urged the public to buy cooking oil from reputable shops. Housing Minister Anthony Cheung is promising help for young single people to get on the property ladder.
He made the assurance as the number of applicants for public housing soars. Arthur Keeler reports.
The number of people queuing up for public housing has already exceeded 200,000 so far this financial year, and about a quarter of them are under 30 years old and single. That's compared with only 150,000 applicants for the whole of the last financial year ending in March. Now the government is promising to do more to help young people get on the property ladder. Transport and Housing Secretary Anthony Cheung said today that it's still clear there's a real need for more housing, especially for the 100,000 or so non-elderly singles. He said that flats in housing society projects like the one Chief Executive Leung Chun-ying visited yesterday in Qingyi should be sold and not leased in the future to ease demand for public housing. Cheung revealed that the government is considering developing a second-hand market for housing society apartments and will study demand for them. But when it comes to loans for first-time home buyers, Cheung made it clear that the government will not roll out such a policy. He said the administration isn't considering it at all because of already short housing supplies. Cheung insisted that property prices will be driven up further by a scheme offering loans to first-time home buyers. Arthur Akiola, ATV News.
Tech pioneer John McAfee has arrived back in the U.S. after life on the run to avoid questioning over the murder of another American in Belize.
The former Silicon Valley millionaire was deported from Guatemala, where he had been hiding with his young girlfriend from Belize. John McAfee is finally back in the U.S. after life on the run. The tech pioneer had gone into hiding as he was wanted in Belize for questioning over the murder of his neighbor, fellow American Gregory Fall.
I don't think anybody thinks I murdered my neighbor, except you, the press.
The 67-year-old, who made a fortune from the antivirus software that bears his name, was held for a week in Guatemala, where he was finally caught after sneaking in with his 20-year-old girlfriend from Belize.
You think I had anything to do with this? I had no choice in this. I was whisked out of the prison. I was comfortably separated from Samantha, and here I am. I didn't have anything to do with anything.
Eccentric and unpredictable, he's been chronicling life on the run in a blog on the internet, though. And even when that ended, things were much more exciting for him than the average person.
Well, there's a lot of chaos. They stopped the airplane before it reached the gate. They had everybody sit down, and then they said, "Is John McAfee on the plane? Please come forward." And there were a whole bunch of officers. I thought, "Gee, this is continuing." And they said, "We're here to help you, sir. Please come with us." And they whisked me away from you people.
Once we landed, we got to the gate, and they asked everybody to stay seated. They called him up, and that confirmed that's who he was. It was very calm. It seemed just like a regular passenger on the flight. You would never know that who he was. You would never know. No one had any attention on him. No one was coming to him and asking him things. He was just sitting there. People were taking pictures with him at the airport, but that was it. Right.
McAfee claims Belizean authorities will kill him if he turns himself in for questioning, because he's being persecuted for refusing to pay $2 million in bribes to the government, something which the Prime Minister has rejected. The country's leader has described him as paranoid and bonkers.
No, not really, because there are some bad things happening in Guatemala with Samantha now. You have to understand the situation in parts of Latin America, specifically the relationship between Guatemala and Belize. For hundreds of years, they've been struggling over a piece of land. Next year, they'll be signing a peace accord for the very first time. And my position there put the Guatemalan government in a very serious situation, which is why I'm here now, and which is why Sam is still there.
Now that he's in the US, McAfee can look forward to a life that's a far cry from his heyday in the late 1980s. He worked for American space agency NASA and was a consultant for Lockheed Systems, which sells military products, before founding McAfee Associates. He no longer has any relationship with the company, which was sold to Intel.
Time now for sports with Raymond Yang.
So Raymond, Lionel Messi's goal onslaught continues.
Well, yes, he scored another double in Barcelona's latest win. Barcelona are on track to defend their Copa del Rey trophy after an easy victory over Cordoba in the first leg of the round of 16 clash. But Real Madrid will have some catching up to do as they suffered a shock defeat to Celta Vigo. With their star striker Lionel Messi fresh from setting the record for the highest number of goals scored in a year, Barcelona looked to ride on his good form as they visited Cordoba in the first leg of the Copa del Rey round of 16 tie. Diago's long-range effort was denied by the post, but Barca kept their composure to organize another attack. And it was Messi who struck again, as he tapped in a cross by David Villa to make it 1-0 at 11 minutes. The Argentine ace was simply unstoppable. This time he received a perfect pass from Alexis Sanchez to slide home his second at the far post. The double takes his goal tally to 88 this year, and the 2-0 win has all but secured Barcelona a quarter-final berth as the two sides meet for the return fixture in a month's time. But their arch-rivals Real Madrid had less luck, as their poor run in the league campaign seemed to continue in the Spanish Cup pursuit. Despite sporting a strong side as they visited Celta Vigo, Real were held scoreless at the break. And things made a turn for the worse for Real, as Mario Bermejo eluded everyone to slot home from a cross on 56 minutes. And some sloppy exchanges at their own half cost Real another goal on 78 minutes. After a short dribble, Christian Bustos unleashed from 25 yards to net a stunning second for Celta. Real found some consolation 3 minutes from time, as Cristiano Ronaldo beat offside to receive a pass from Xabi Alonso and netted home for the 2-1 result. The away goal will prove crucial to Real as they return home for the second leg next month. Over in Italy, Juventus faced Cagliari as they battled for a quarter-final place in the Coppa Italia. Sebastian Giovinco almost put the home side up front 7 minutes into the game, but he could not generate enough power on his effort, which was seized by goalkeeper Vlada Avramov. The Serbian goalkeeper was kept busy throughout the first half as he deflected Niklas Bentner's shot. But some sloppy defending proved costly for the visitors, as Jovinko capitalized on the loose ball and fired home at 56 minutes. Cagliari responded immediately, but Daniel De Sena's drive was punched away by Gianluigi Buffon. Juventus held on for the 1-0 result and are through to the quarter-finals. They will next face either AC Milan or Regina, who will play tonight.
And I look at the weather before we go. It was mainly fine today. Temperatures ranged from 16.7 to 20.6 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 71 and 80%. Winds were moderate to fresh easterlies, occasionally strong offshore. Checking on the UV index now, the maximum recorded for the day was 6. And tomorrow's UV reading will be up around 6 as well. Let's take a look at the weather in the region. The ridge of high pressure over southeastern China is bringing a fresh to strong easterly airstream to the coast of Guangdong. And now to the satellite images. It's generally fine over Guangdong coastal areas. And let's check out the weather for the next few days. There will be sunny periods tomorrow. Temperatures will range from 18 to 22 degrees. More sunshine on Saturday with mist in the morning and at night, with a top temperature of 23 degrees. Becoming cloudy with rain patches going into next week. Now for tomorrow's air pollution levels. General stations will be medium to high at 30 to 60, and roadside pollution levels will be high at 60 to 80. And finally, here's the weather around the world.
That's the main news for Thursday night. I'll be back with an update in an hour. I'm Edna De.
I'm Raymond Yang.
And I'm Hailing Chan. Thanks for watching ATV. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Coming up, check in current news, Global 3000.
Miss Asia, J'adore. The 2012 ATV Miss Asia Pageant. The Greater China Final Top 20 contestants. Number 1, Bianca Wong Stemegna. Number 2, Jenny Leong.